Going on West Lawn Care, we have a special video / interview today. We have Asher Allen, who is speaking to us from NutriDyn. He is a nutrition advisor. Here's why this is important, especially for what we do every day in the elements. We need to make sure that we're getting the proper nutrition, whether that's staying hydrated, whether that's getting our vitamins, and whether that's getting our omega-3s and our protein. So stay tuned and let's listen up for what he has to say. All right, what's going on, West Lawn Care people? Thank you for coming back to the channel. Today we have a special guest. We have Asher Allen. Now, before we actually go into this interview, I just want to give off some of this man's credentials. All right, let's do this, because the purpose of this interview is to bring nutrition to lawn care, because we're doing things, we're maybe eating some bad habits or have bad habits eating with lunch and everything, taking breaks, whatever the situation is. So let me just give you all some of this man credentials, then I'm gonna hand it over to you. So first of all, we have he is a functional medicine advisor. He's been working at NutriDyn for 12 years. He is the co-founder of RARE, that is Real Athletes in Real Estate. He also is an advisory board member for Futureverse. This man has dabbled in tech. This man is a Georgia Bulldogs, go Dogs. This man has also played for the Minnesota Vikings. So without further ado, I just want to give it over to this man. I'm gonna give you a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, lawn technicians everywhere, Asher Allen.
Nice to be here. Yeah, man, looking forward to this. I think it's great what you're doing. Let's get at it.
All right. So as we continue, so let me know, how did you actually get into nutrition? What sparked something? What age was it when it happened, or did it just clicked automatically? So talk to me about it.
Yeah, you know what? When I think about it, you know, my parents were always athletes. So my mom ran track in the state of Texas. She was a state track record holder, and then my dad also played collegiately in Atlanta. So sports has always been big. We also have other family members that were professional players, collegiate players. So we're really blessed to be able to have that. And with athletics comes nutrition, right? It's like, you know, can't have a bike without pedals. You gotta have some type of nutrition, because everybody's good, everybody's fast, everybody's strong. What's the difference? Well, what you do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and what fuel, what type of things you put in your body so that you can execute at a high level. So those have always been principles. Playing, you know, football since I was 10. I've always been in a family where nutrition was important. So definitely not of my own, just me mimicking the habits that I saw around me. And then I went to Georgia, undergrad, was in a course called Health Promotion and Behavior. That was the closest thing to nutrition at that time. And then after that, continued with extra studies in nutrition. But the best thing really was after my career in football in Minneapolis. That is where the company NutriDyn is headquartered. I was able to connect with them. And that was, like you said, 12, 13 years later, a relationship that I'm forever thankful for, because I was able to align myself with individuals that, much like professional athletes, are dedicated to their craft, but most importantly, they're dedicated to helping people live happier and healthier lives. And once I heard that, most importantly, once I saw that, I was all in. So that's how I got into nutrition. And again, I haven't worked a single day of my life, because I'm able to help people, and that's something that I love. And yeah, so that's how I got into it.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. So just to get a little bit more context about NutriDyn, so is NutriDyn chemical based? Is it all natural? Like, what exactly is the products, or what are the line of products that NutriDyn is predominantly in?
Yeah, great question. And it's a important question, because the fact that you have to ask that, is it chemical based? It means that there's things out there that could be.
Correct.
And we're all aware of that. And so I think once you understand who our clients are, you'll understand our qualities. So we work with physicians. So we work with practitioners, from medical doctors, osteopaths, to doctors of chiropractic, doctors of osteopathy, of naturopathic medicine. So we work with practitioners that really deal with sick patients. And so what they can't do is more harm, right? One of the first credence of healthcare is do no harm. And so they first want to align with a company that's doing that. So NutriDyn, we're quadruple GMP certified, which means we spend a lot of money to make sure we have clean formulas for our practitioners, so that they know that they're doing their best for their patients. And so we are 100% highest of quality. I know that's kind of like something that everybody says, but
no, you're proud of the company you work for and who you represent. That's great.
Yeah, we wouldn't be around for 52 years unless we had, you would think in 52 years, somebody would say, hey, something was wrong.
Something's wrong.
And we've been doing this for a very, very long time, keeping practitioners happy globally. So I'm just happy to have my little piece of the pie and help where I can.
Well, thank you for that introduction, man. We truly appreciate it as far as giving that background on yourself more in depth and giving that background on NutriDyn itself, on what they bring to the table as far as what they provide to the clients and the multiple physicians and doctors that's out there. Now, what we are here today is we want to merge that nutrition with lawn care. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that when we're in the field and as lawn technicians or anybody that's out there doing such work as that, we're not always eating the best food. We're not always drinking the right things outside of water to replenish us for what we need to do. So the main thing that I want to know is that when we're out there in like 98 degree heat, 101 degree heat, if you're in Texas, and we're looking for that nutrients and we're looking for something that's different than water, what do you guys have that will offer that hydration other than Powerade, Gatorade, Red Bull, and all that stuff? So what do you guys offer?
Yeah, so we offer a formula. It's called Hydrate, just to keep it simple.
Awesome.
For our customers. And Hydrate is a formula that was actually designed by a practitioner named Dr. Scott Bergman out of Walnut Creek, California. He's a naturopath and a doctor of chiropractic, so he's double board certified, and he trains a lot of iron athletes and triathlon individuals. And so the story of that formula, he was actually making it for himself. So for his patients could be able to excel at the highest level in their sport. Well, it flew off the shelves and it caught our attention, and we brought it underneath our line. And now we've had that for several years. And so you mentioned some other, products that are out there like Gatorade and Powerade. And what a lot of people don't understand is that what they're
because there's a lot of sugar in those too, high in sugar and probably high in sodium too.
100%, right? And so sodium is okay, potassium's okay, chloride's okay. See, all of these things are called electrolytes. And long story short, they open the door to allow water to get inside the cell. You want your cells to be a grape and not a raisin.
So you don't want to be dried out. Okay, you want
to be dried out, aka dehydrated. Imagine having a fig and you put it in a dehydrator. It comes out a tenth of this size and very, very concentrated. Well, you don't want that in your cells, right? Your cells inside have different organelles inside of them, and they need their space, right? They need to stretch and, they need to be able to do their thing, make energy, whatever the case may be. Right. But imagine with their something called the cytosol, which is the inside plasma of the cell. When that water decreases, now they're like this.
Right.
They can't move, they can't do anything, and they can't really work efficiently. And so your body will notice that and then trigger something called apoptosis, which is cell death, because it says, you ain't right. Let's get you up out of here. So
if you want me to be right, you need to be right.
That we have a high quality formula. Simply put, the body is an amazing creation. But yeah, so that's our formula that we have is Hydrate. It's high quality electrolytes. Again, electrolytes open the door to the cell to let water in.
Beautiful.
And then on top of that, it has other versions of it as well, of different nutrients and micronutrients to be able to help.
Awesome. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. So you've answered the question. So you guys have a product that's called Hydrate. And of course there's some sodium in most things, but the potassium is the main important thing that you guys have because your muscles need that potassium. And then let's go over to the food aspect of things, because people may be eating fast food here, going to a gas station here, picking up a hot dog, chips, whatever the situation is. So on a 8 to 10 hour workday, what is some type of solid foods that we should be putting in our bodies? And let's just back it up. Let's just talk about vitamins for a minute. Something that we should probably be taking like first thing in the morning. So knowing that we're getting ready to go do all this physical work, like you said, shoulders, back, legs, hamstrings, pushing something, pulling something, whatever the situation is, just give us a vitamin or vitamins that you would recommend.
Well, I would say most importantly, as far as something, I would say protein. So just make sure you have adequate protein.
Okay.
Protein is super important. It's the building block of life. Your DNA is made out of protein.
Okay.
Your body eats protein, so it eats chicken steak, it eats the fish, it eats whatever, the turkey. It breaks it down into these amino acids, and the body, depending on its need, will reconfigure those amino acids and make whatever's needed, enzymes, proteins, yada, yada. Well, one of the things that's super duper important about protein, it makes you feel full, something called satiety. And if you don't feel full, your blood sugar is going to go down, and you are going to be a ravenous wolf when it comes to your next meal. You're going to say, hey, I shouldn't eat this, but you're going to eat it anyway. Your willpower goes away. So I'm a really big fan of eating, 20 to 30 grams of protein every 2 to 3 hours, just to keep your blood sugar stable.
Okay.
That's really important. And you guys are just crushing it out there. You're putting 8-hour days. Here in Atlanta, the sun's about to start coming out and making an appearance.
Correct.
You're going to be dehydrated, hungry. And guess what that means? Donuts, quick fixes, and
chips,
things that are quick.
Slim Jims.
Slim Jims, Macho Man Randy Savage. You're going to be, doing all of that stuff. So what you don't want to do is allow yourself to get to that point. So just from the point of just feeling full so you can make good decisions out there, just have adequate protein. What does that look like? Okay. Have a clean protein shake, right? There's a lot of protein shakes out there that, you may not be the person that can walk around with a refrigerator in your car or some type of cool sack. I will tell you, I'm going to elevate your goals. That is the best. Take a lunch pack, put some dry ice in there, and have some protein in there and eat it relatively cool. Hey, it is what it is. Your body's going to thank you because it's what God made and is packaged in his packaging in which the body understands it and can read it and process it. Yes, that's the best. But if that's not practical, that's okay. That's life, right? Okay. So when you're out there and you're going past, certain things, try to find things that are high in protein. Make sure your doctor looks at your kidneys first. If your kidneys are okay, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any advice. You always confirm it with your practitioner and your primary. Correct. But if your kidneys are okay, you really need to make sure that your protein is in adequate levels. And so if you don't hear anything else from today, make sure that you have really, really clean protein. What does clean mean? Clean means a low-fat protein. So skirt steak, top sirloin, chicken breast.
Can we throw some Wagyu in there? There's too much fat.
Too much fat. It's a time and a place for it, right? It's a time and a place for it. One principle that we know in nutrition is that all toxins are fat soluble. Long story short, if you ingest, breathe, drink, eat, put on your skin and is absorbed in your bloodstream, anything that is toxic, it's going to go into an Airbnb in your fat cells. So what you want to make sure is that you're not bringing in toxins from the fat of other protein. Okay. And that's really the reason why, right? But
there's a difference between bad fats and healthy fats.
Big difference, right? Big difference. So for the crowd that's going to be listening to this, long story short, there's good fats and there's bad fats. Good fats like omega-3s, that's something that you want. That's what your body that's what it really wants. But many of the fats that are out there called omega-6s, just know that they're pro-inflammatory. And so because of that, you're working out. You're doing all of this, right? You're going up hills. You're already inflamed. right? You're already joint pain, all that stuff.
Right.
Why would you introduce through your mouth something that's going to increase pain? Obviously, you're not doing it intentionally, so there's no judgment, but just know that you want to have lean protein sources so you're not introducing anything to yourself inflammatory. So again, if I'm Dre, if I am a lawn technician, I know I got a long day. First and foremost, what I put in my mouth in the beginning of the day kind of sets the tone. So I don't want to put something sweet in my mouth because my cravings now are going to be for sweet. Just like if you read something bad in the morning, you're going to think about that throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So you want to set your taste buds and your cravings from the get in the morning. So have 3 eggs with some type of protein and nuts. No carbohydrates. So now your body is in this savory, umami kind of zone. Then, after you work out and after you exercise, then there's a time where you can introduce some whole foods that have sugar in it, right? For lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And, so your bananas, your fruits, your resistant starches, which are like plantains, rice, sweet potatoes, and the like. So again, wrap it up. Big fan of protein every 2 to 3 hours. Make sure it's clean and make sure it's something that eats off the ground.
All right.